is on your Flame Strike. And then after hitting 20 heroes, you get this like permanent extra bonus, and you can't lose that. But it's this really high risk, high reward quest. It makes your Flame Strike hit a lot harder, but at the cost of, well, if you die early on in the game and you don't finish the quest, it's like almost this dead talent that doesn't help you much at all. Considering that they do have Artanis, and especially considering that they do have Chromie, I just don't think it's viable to try to finish that quest. I'm just like, if I try that, I'm just going to die. You can see we're getting a great start to this game. Nice charge in there by Varian to put that last little extra bit of damage onto the Artanis, ensure that the Oriel heal won't be enough, and we got ourselves a couple of free kills there, which is quite nice. But yeah, Convection, it's you know, it's pretty questionable. I'd say yes, Convection, if you're under almost no threat as Kael'thas. I'd say no to Convection if they've pretty much any damage that can dive you or that can poke away at you. In this case, they don't have a particularly huge amount of dive, but they do have the Chromie. So, I mean, like, it would just be the kind of thing where they hit level 8 and Chromie can just kill you with the Temporal Loop if she wants to. You don't want that. So, yeah, Mana Addict in this game as we move in here to the first fight on the Shrines. Mana Addict, in case you don't know, so it's a quest to collect regen globes. We get 15 bonus max mana every time we collect one, and after collecting 20, we can activate Arcane Barrier. You can see it there on our bonus ability bar, but we're not able to use it yet. But that will give us, well, a big shield equal to 100% for max mana on a 45-second cooldown. So this will give us that sort of burst HP, that burst shielding to help us survive through the Chromie pick potential. So I think it's going to be pretty worthwhile here. We're kind of defending on our own. That's going to be okay. We're going to lure this thing over, popping the well in advance, because I know I'm going to take a lot of damage off this Punisher fella. And indeed we do. Level 4, I do grab Nether Wind. This increases the range of Gravity Lapse, which is our stun, by 30%, which is a huge deal. And we get 80 mana back if we hit a hero. So yeah, I like this double talent combo. So you get Mana Addict at level 1, it's giving you that protection, and it also gives you lots of mana to play with. And then you can go for the Gravity Lap, for the Netherwind, upgrade to Gravity Lapse. Because you've got plenty of mana to play with, you can kind of focus on spending your spells a little bit more aggressively. I just like it. You have a lot of mana issues if you go for the Convection build, I find. Mana Addict really keeps you in the game, and also you're kind of pressured a bit into taking Mana Tap with Convection, unless you run out of mana all too often. So I like this one, Mana Addict into Netherwind, my personal favorite combo. And the big deal, the really big deal in this as well, is that 30% extra range on Gravity Lapse is actually a huge deal. It's a really big deal. You're a ranged damage dealer as Kael'thas. You're very squishy, you're very vulnerable, you've got a big hitbox. The extra range on your stun can help you be much more effective at using that in team fights. Especially, let's say, when Varian charges in, we might not be in position to land a follow-up stun. It's pretty difficult. With the extra 30 range we get from Netherwind, that becomes a much more doable thing. Level 7 here, gonna grab Burned Flesh. If we hit 2 or more heroes, we do 8% of their max HP as bonus damage with our Flame Strike spell. So that's a pretty damn strong spell, and should be very effective here on this map in particular on Infernal Shrines. Also considering that they do have Sonya and Artanis, should work well against them, and Cassia is pretty short range as well, so we can definitely use that to our advantage. Now this is where things get bad. So we stun the Chromie, but we do die, right? We're kind of stuck there with the Temporal Loop. Like I said, they hit level 8. Chromie gets Temporal Loop, and if she wants, she can basically kill me, and there's nothing we can do about it. It's working out okay, actually, and working out pretty damn well here. We're getting a nice sort of return damage up on top, getting a nice push. Actually, looks like Arthas is dead, so not so nice. Yeah, not so nice in the end. And that's going to be this Shrine gone then. But we got some decent structural damage, I suppose. We are quite a bit down in terms of XP now, so I mean this Punisher's just almost certainly gone. I mean we could maybe have contested it before 10, but seeing that myself and Arthas died, that's not an option anymore. And yeah, you can see that's the power of the Chromie I was mentioning earlier. It's pretty scary. But as the game goes later, we'll have more tools to be able to fight against that. We will have our Arcane Barrier for Mana Addict, and we'll be able to fight with that. With Kael'thas as well, and with this talent build in particular, you very much open up the possibility of using your Verdant Spheres, your trait, to empower any of your abilities. So in case you don't know what this does, Verdant Spheres, it's this 6-second cooldown, and we can use this to make one of our basic abilities stronger. If you use it with Flame Strike, it makes the Flame Strike radius, I think it's 50% bigger. It's significantly larger. So that's obviously going to synergize very well with Burnt Flesh, because we want to be, if possible, hitting 2 heroes with that, and that will make it extremely powerful. You can empower your Living Bomb, your W, with it, which makes Living Bomb mana free, and also makes it have no cooldown. So normally Living Bomb is a 10-second cooldown. You can turn that kind of into a 6-second mana free spammable ability if you spend your Verdant Spheres on it. Pretty useful for like a little bit of extra single target damage or some free wave clear, that sort of stuff. We're also going to be grabbing, just in advance, at level 13 we're going to be grabbing Pyromaniac, which is a level 13 talent that synergizes with Living Bomb, which means that every time it does its ticking dot damage, its damage over time, it reduces the cooldown of all of our other basic abilities, well, all of our basic abilities, excuse me, by 1 second, including Living Bomb itself. So we're going to be able to use that one to some effect. So you got some pretty cool single target damage with Kelthus, just throwing basic Flame Strikes down, then empowering the Living Bomb to do extra damage. And then just keeping that Flame Strike cooldown ticking down very, very quickly. You can output a lot of damage. You probably see me using that against some of the siege camps later in the game, especially once we get level 13. Then finally, our Gravity Lapse. This is actually very powerful to empower. Normally this is a 1-second stun, skill shot. When you empower it, it becomes a 1.5-second stun, so extra half a second, which actually matters more than you would think. And it also will stun the first 3 enemies that it hits. So this can be very effective, and with Netherwind improving the range on Gravity Lapse, it becomes much more usable. So really going into these team fights, we can choose to use pretty much anything we can. You can see right here, for example, we're using Flame Strike on cooldown, then we're empowering our Living Bomb for a bit of extra damage as well on cooldown. This was sort of single target, mana efficient clear right there. Grab the regen globe as we go. We got 15 now, we still need another 5. Been a bit slow, I'd say, finishing this quest, but we've been losing the game so far, which is why that's coming in. I love that Lucio is just like, haha, I know you guys have AoE, I'm going to spread these out with my knockback. It's really difficult for us to wave clear. Ha ha ha, the extra damage from knockback though, pretty good, right? Pretty good? Probably not. We're trying to fight here a talent here down, but we do have pretty decent position. On this point, we're going to throw the Phoenix in to try to do as much damage as we can. We do get temporal looped by Chromie, but she's under so much pressure she can't get us. Fortunately, Arthur's under pressure as well, and he does go down. And yeah, like going into these team fights, it really does depend. In a team fight, you don't really want to empower the Living Bomb with this build. That's more for just efficient wave clear, cheap, and kind of like decent because it's cheap. In a team fight, what we want to be doing, we're looking for 2 big things. Number 1, which is going to happen probably less frequently, we're looking for someone who goes way out of position, and then we can empower our Gravity Lapse, try hit them with that, drop a Flame Strike under them. The empowered Gravity, like, I don't know how Chromie hit that. That was like, what? What? She did though. Chromie on fire right now. But yeah, if someone's out of position, we can hit them with that empowered stun with that Gravity Lapse. That's a very powerful thing to do. Hit them with a Gravity Lapse, throw a Flame Strike underneath them, they'll be stunned by the time it explodes, so guaranteed to hit the Flame Strike. Throw a Living Bomb on them as well, even drop the Phoenix. That's some nice single target burst and pick potential. Okay, so right there, for example, doing it on the Sonya. Unfortunately, we didn't have Flame Strike available. Looks like she still will go down though, and indeed she does. Most of the time we're going to be empowering our Flame Strike, just for maximum damage output. Right here, should have thrown the stun at the Oriel earlier. You can see she's just out of range because we didn't. So I was kind of kicking myself for that one. We've been losing the game, so I wasn't prepared, mentally prepared enough to go that aggressive. So we let her get away. She starts hot stoning in the base, we throw the Flame Strike over the wall. She actually was looking at her talons or something, or typing, getting frustrated or tilted maybe that they lost that, and we get a free kill on the Oriel because she doesn't step out of the Flame Strike. Happy days, good for us. But yeah, it was one of those things. I should have stunned her earlier under that fort, but I mean, you just get caught in that mindset of like, oh, we've been losing the game so far, kind of just take the win, sidestep that. Just take the win and be glad for the win and just secure this Punisher for our team. Don't keep chasing, where in fact we could have actually kept it in there. I didn't really talk about heroics. You got Pyroblast and Phoenix. I mean, Phoenix is just much better overall, and especially against an Oriole who's got the stasis thing. It's just better. I mean, Pyroblast is not terrible by any means, but Phoenix is just a little bit better. We're going to throw it over here just to zone the enemy team off that Punisher a little bit, get some extra damage out. Phoenix does a fair whack of damage over the course of its ability, so that's pretty nice for us. We're looking here, get the stun onto the Artanis, but it's a short stun, so it doesn't achieve too much. And as we're pushing in, you'll notice that I'm throwing like the living bombs onto the fort. I think it gives it a bigger explosion radius, so you can maybe spread some of those chain bombs around the place without the team being too aware. Varian is in a tough spot. Throw out the stun to try cover him. It wasn't positioned too well though. It looks like he should get out. Unfortunately, Arthas is going to fall, but still we're level 16 now. The enemy team just about level 15. So this is a nice tempo swing. We've gone around from losing the game with that last fight there over that shrine to now being in the lead. We're going to Hearthstone out here, get our mana back, and then go and finish our quest finally. It's been way too late, but that'll be a great tool to have moving forward. It's level 16, level 13 actually. I already mentioned Pyromaniac. I quite like a lot of the level 13 talents, but this one is my favorite overall. It gives you so much cooldown reduction on your Flame Strike, which synergizes with all of our other talents we're going to be taking really, and cooldown reduction on your stun as well, which is insanely strong. So I just think Pyromaniac is the best. Level 16 Fury the Sunwell. This will make our Flame Strike hit a second time. Vala's gone way too far for it. She's just dead. And we kind of saw that coming for a little while there. Kind of panicking a bit as we're trying to help her out. But yeah, that is a very, very dead Vala, unfortunately. Able to do some decent damage to this, but I'm being very cautious. This is why I'm being so cautious. I'm very scared to actually keep pushing forwards here with the Kelpers. We're so vulnerable. Chromie almost kills us. We do get saved. I don't know, I triggered that by accident with the stupid right. But yeah, very, very scary to keep pushing into that. Vala is our main source of consistent damage here. So we really need her to be there before we try to pick a fight. Even with Sonya not there, I think it is just a bit too risky. Cassia can do a surprising amount of damage, especially when there isn't like there isn't too much pressure on her. So definitely something to be scared of. But yeah, the Fury of the Sunwell, I think it's by far the best talent at 16. Double Flame Strikes, your Flame Strike does twice as much damage as they stand in it. That's pretty damn good. It also gives us double chances to proc our Burnt Flesh talent. You know, that bonus max HP damage. It's great for zoning. It's going to be great in shrines. It's really, really strong. We'll also synergize in advance with level 20. I don't remember if we get level 20 in this game or not. I don't remember. But Flamethrower is the talent of choice at level 20, which improves the cast range of Flame Strike by 40%, which is pretty useful in itself. Makes you be able to dish that Flame Strike damage out so much further distance, and also works nicely with the extra range on Rip on our stuns as well. We can be this nice long-range safe Kelthus. That's good. Right here, we're going to try land the stun. No, we didn't try land the stun. We stunned the Cassia, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to get Varian out of there. We're going to throw in the zoning, Flame Strike. It's just a little bit of damage, not too much. Artanis gone very far forwards, actually. He takes a lot of hits. But we need to be so careful here. I think this is going to be a bad idea, yeah. Looks like we are probably going to go down. We're able to stun the Sonya, but yeah, she's going to be able to chase us down. I'm very, very dead. Very, very dead, and we do go down. Got kind of baited in trying to help the Vala there. We should have been running away much sooner. No way that we can... No way we can actually contest that shrine with the healer being dead, so we're just asking for trouble, and trouble is what we received. As well, that Flamethrower talent level 20 also... Vala is full of regrets! Full of regrets! If we hit 2 heroes with their Flame Strike, reduces the cooldown by 4 seconds, which is a massive deal. We can just churn out loads of them. So yeah, that will also synergize. Lucio gets hit by Temporal Loop and does fire off the Sound Barrier this time, saving himself. Looks like Vala is going to escape because of that. Very generous enemy team. Not trying to chase her down, thank you very much. Getting distracted by the Lucio. We'll take it. Now we got to try to defend our keep, and we are behind once again in terms of XP. Which is not too good for us. Get some nice damage down the Flame Strike. Oriole heals it up quite immediately, and I take a whole bunch of damage, didn't even notice, from that Punisher. Arcane Punishers are pretty scary things, and you can see we lost a lot of HP there. We're lucky Chromie wasn't there. If she was, we could have been actually punished pretty heavily for that. Enemy team racing towards level 20, taking out that top fort. We're going to try rotate up and take a fight. I mean, Arthas is behind though, and they know we're coming because of Chromie, so I don't know how well this can work. We can see we're lurking fairly far behind our team here as the Kel'Thuzs don't want to get caught out of position. We don't have our arcane barrier ready to protect us. Lucio's sound barrier not ready either, so a big fight will not work out too well for us. Varian goes in, he's almost dead already. We get the stun on Artanis. Artanis almost dead as well. Throwing a flame strike here, try to do what we can. Sonya is on the chase, we're going to be able to stun her up just for a little while. He has a berserker though, so it only takes half of a stun, isn't it? Yes, that stun reduction, so she's not stunned for very long and she makes it out. But we do walk away, Varian dies, but we get a kill. Vala actually picking up a kill as well. Cost for own life, but that's more than worth it considering how far behind we are in terms of the game. Enemy team gonna hit level 20 now, we still need to get there, so hey, we'll take dead Sonya over dead Vala anytime. We can just soak up while they don't have enough heroes to make a big play and start narrowing this gap, start working on some of these camps. Kel'Thuz's actually pretty good at doing that, especially with this build. We'll throw this guy out, she got screwed up there, she used the break with the legend bomb, so we're slightly inefficient in terms of doing this. As you can see, camps go down very, very quickly. It's not as good as Jaina, but you invest less cooldowns. So, I don't know. In some ways, he's just as good. He's good. He's decent doing camps with some backup anyway. Certainly late game. Once you get that Fury of the Sun well, you can just tear through camps extremely quick. Right, at this point, Shrine is activating very, very shortly, and we do not have level 20, so that's kind of scary for us. There's no way for us as well to push down that bottom lane. The ever-present threat of Chromie Temporal Loop, right? Ever-present threat. So we're just going to group up with our team. You've noticed I've been taking a lot of safe paths in this game as well, trying not to take any could be unnecessary risks. This is actually pretty nice. They catch Cassia out of position. That's great for us. We throw out the stun, catch her in the longer stun, throw in some spells as well, and throw the Phoenix. We just drop everything down. We get Temporal Loop by Chromie, but she doesn't have the follow-up damage. Cassia healing up and surviving for a long time there. We throw out the stun at Sonya. What happened? I think she used her Q to go out there. Didn't quite catch it, but she was out. She dodged out. Either that or Lucio knocked her back, I assume. I don't know. I think she probably speared out. Anyway, she does dodge the second stun, but we do take him down. That's 2 kills for us, level 20 for us, and that is a huge deal. Enemy team getting caught very much out of position, going for a greedy siege camp. Artanis wasn't quite there. He'd run up to the top lane first. He was out of position, so kind of leaving his team in a rough spot, and we actually win a fight that we really shouldn't have gotten and really shouldn't have won. So we're very, very happy with that. Artanis now up in top, back defending, as they wait for their heroes to respawn. They're going to lose bottom fort for sure, and we're looking to push down bottom keep as well if we can take it. The enemy team is actually way too far forwards. Chromie throwing the game. Thank you very much, Chromie. Oh, Oriel was there as well, dying. Yeah, like, it's just, that's a huge mistake. That should probably be game. Like, they've got 2 dead heroes. Artanis is defending top lane. There's no way they can defend. Like, that fort is dead. There's no way they can defend it. If they try to defend it, the only thing that's going to happen is they die, and that's exactly what occurred. You just have to give up certain things. This is a mistake I see quite a lot. People trying to defend things they can never defend, and they just get themselves killed. Cassia moves way too far forwards here as well, kind of knowing that the game at this stage with those extra deaths is pretty much over. Vala does go down, but we hit her with the empowered stun, drop the flame strike under her, drop everything. She does go down. They drop the Phoenix here as well. Sonya gonna spin, so we're gonna hit her with the flame strike. She's taunted. She is living a long time. We're gonna empower her stun, hit her with the stun, drop the flame strike, hit her with the W as well. She's gonna try to chase us a little bit, and eventually even Sonya does fall. Oriel and Chromie only just respawning now, but we're on the core with the half health Punisher. He's no siege camps pushing in the middle as well. It's not, they're not going to matter too much. That is going to be game. Good thing too, because we just ran out of mana on Mr. Kel'Thuz here. No mana left for us. And yeah, honestly, I've not been very good at the Flame Strike build, but I felt like this was a really good game. And it's interesting, some of the decisions. I feel like that's quite a throw from the enemy team there at the end. If they just sat back and defended with their full team at the keep, they would have had that. Well, they wouldn't have had the game, but they would have been able, they wouldn't have lost the game right there and then, but they went to defend a fort that they had no business defending, and they just lost a whole bunch of heroes, and it's basically game over. From the second they think that's a good decision, it's basically game over at that point. We did get MVP for that game, which is quite nice, thank you very much. And yeah, that is Flamestrike Kelthus. I think he's actually really good. The strength of Kelthus, was her damage? Not as much as the Bala, by any means. She did more damage. She was able to play a very aggressive Bala, get in there and really churn it out against that sort of double front line that wasn't pressuring her too much, just the lack of a main tank screwing the enemy team up, to be frank. Yeah, that Artanis pick, not very good. But yeah, Kelthus is strong. The big drawing thing, crowning feature of Kelthus really, is that he's a ranged assassin with a stun. 1 second stun by default, 1.5 second stun empowered. That's what makes him shine. So yeah, that's kind of what you're looking at when you're picking him. Good AoE damage, good zoning potential, and most importantly, he's got a stun, potentially an AoE stun. Not something that ranged assassins typically bring to the mix. Guys, give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. If you learned something, there should be the talent build on the left hand side and then other stuff for you to check out on the right hand side. I look forward to seeing you again for more Heroes of the Storm. So until then, thanks for watching and goodbye.
Talent? That seems generous.
As nature will.
Hey everyone, Upkex here and welcome back to Heroes of the Storm and the Road to Grandmaster. In today's video, I'm going to be talking all about Nova. Nova is actually pretty good right now. Actually very underrated as well. In the last patch, she received what is actually a massive buff to her Snipe Master talent at level 7. This is a talent where you stack up damage up to 75% bonus damage on Snipe for every consecutive snipe you hit against heroes. You used to lose that bonus if you hit anything except a hero. Now you only lose the bonus if you don't hit anything at all. So it's much easier to keep that going. Much more effective than doing merc camps, wave clear, pushing down structures, all of that stuff. It's fine if you hit like an Anubarak beetle, anything like that. So it's a totally huge change. So I'm going to talk all about that. Now, first pick Nova though. First pick Nova is really bad, okay? I had reached this point of frustration with Hero League and trying to get videos for you guys of just being, it's just been this weird spot recently. I don't know, there's been a lot of these like Sonya mains. It's weird. It's weird, man. There's just loads of these Sonya mains that are terrible at every other hero except Sonya. And they climb really high because Sonya's really good. And now she's been slightly nerfed. They're trying to play other stuff and it's horrible. Anyway, like I've just been having a horrible time in Hero League. And I just got to the point where I said, you know what? I'm sick of trying my best and picking what's best for the team and all this sort of stuff. And then getting, you know, the game or the video I'm recording kind of ruined because we got someone who doesn't know at all what they're doing on their hero or picks into one of their counter picks or something, and it's just horrible. So I said, you know what? Screw that. I'm going to play a few games. I'm just going to pick what I want to pick, and we'll see how it goes. In this game, when we've got Shrimpy, Footman looking for team. He's really good as well. I don't know the other two as well. And then obviously Timeless White. I think that's... I don't think that's Timeless. I think that might be like, I think it might be Snitch from Team Dignitas. I'm not sure. I think that's someone impersonating Timeless X, looking for a team anyway. And then the Anubarak player in the other team's good too. And I've seen some of the other guys around, but I don't know them that well. But yeah, in this game I said, you know what? We got some good players here. Screw it. I've been trying to get a good Nova game. I'm sick of being flamed and stuff, so screw it. We're just gonna first pick Nova and we'll see how it goes. Not recommended. I don't recommend it at all. This is something that was born out of my own frustration. Is it a good strategy for drafting? No. However, at the same time, I'm also extremely confident that Nova is much stronger than people realize, and that it's not going to be as big a disadvantage for our team as I think everyone else in the game is probably going to expect. So that's why I kind of did it. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, they get Anubarak, so that's a lot of CC that we got to watch out for. And then they get Zeratul. The Zeratul is to counterpick the Nova in particular, and Zeratul is actually very effective against Nova. He can stick on her, and it's a bit of a nightmare with all of his teleports. Very difficult for us to actually hit him with Snipe. And bear in mind, if we do miss our Snipe, we lose all of those Snipe Master stacks. So that's pretty bad news for us. So Zeratul is going to be extremely difficult. He's very, very good against the Nova. We do have the Abathur Greymane combo though, which is really strong. The enemy team does grab Malf. Gonna have scouting drones to stop the Nova roams. And then Muradin. That's an interesting choice. They're gonna have a big, strong front line to try lock down that Greymane and just be someone who's difficult for Greymane to kill. So I mean, if you look at our damage, we got Greymane, we've got a Nova, and then we've got an Abathur copy. So that's the theory behind the Muradin, is he's very hard to kill, so he'll be able to survive through that sort of burst. Yeah, we'll see kind of how it goes. We're looking at picking up Kharazim as our support. I think that's fine. And then Arthas. I think Arthas is just fine as well. Footman looking for team. This guy he always plays Anubarak, or nearly always plays Anubarak. He's really good at that hero. I think Arthas is like his backup here. He's probably got a few backup ones. Fortunately, the enemy team did grab Anubarak right at the start. Would have liked to have that on our side, but c'est la vie. And then final pick for the enemy team, probably range damage, and it's going to be Li Ming. I think that's a pretty decent choice. She's going to be very good against me on Nova. She can obviously get Force Armor, which will protect her from our burst damage. Yeah, there you guys go. We're loading into the game, so I will skip ahead, and I will see you when we get there. Alright guys, and here we are in the game. We have gone for the YOLO. First pick Nova. And we're going to see what we can make happen with this. At level 1, I do like to go for Advanced Cloaking. While we are in Stealth, we get 2 mana back per second and get 25% increased movement speed. So we're just slightly slower than a mount. And then the mana regeneration is actually quite nice. Nova does have mana problems if you don't take it. So I do quite like this one. And seeing as we're not going to be building into, Pinning Shot or One in the Chamber or anything like that, the kind of the old standard Nova build, we don't really need Long Shot too much, which is increasing the range for a Pinning Shot and then a follow-up basic attack. That doesn't synergize as well with the Explosive Shot and Snipe Master build we're going to be going with in this particular game. Right here at level 1, we're going to wait for Anubarak to basically run out of his... he actually went super deep and just got melted there. Absolutely melted. We're going to wait for him to run out of his Dampen Magic before we try to snipe him. Whenever we've got that luxury, obviously we don't want to use our snipe on him when he's got that extra spell armor reducing the damage. Literally everyone on the team pinging Anubarak. Not Anubarak, sorry, the Abathur as the Zeratul does come up. You can see Zeratul, he's just behind the minion wave there. Actually, he's in stealth. So we're just going to lurk here. And we're going to, try shoot him whenever he appears. Again, we have to be so safe against this guy because he can definitely out-trade us if we're not careful. But there you go, we hit all of our spells on him. I think Abathur hit a couple of spells on him as well, and Zeratul's almost dead. We don't have the ability to chase him down. He's got Blink, so I mean, we basically can't kill him. And certainly once he hits level 7, that's going to be very threatening once he gets... What's it called? Is it Seeker in the Dark? The one where he can teleport onto us with his Singularity Spike. He throws out his W, latches onto us, he can teleport onto us. That's pretty bad news for us as Nova. That's definitely something that we have to watch out for. Getting a decent trade here against the Malf, lowering his HP down, walking to the very end of the routes like a big noob, and taking out the scouting drone at the same time. So that is all good. See Zeratul's up top, so I'm going to wait up here and I'm going to try secure this altar for our team. Definitely with Abathur, we're not looking to over-contest any of these altars. If we find Zeratul again, we shoot him a couple of times and then run away. But again, happy to get a nice trade on him, and presuming he tapped as well the first time or something like that, he might be fairly low on life and won't be able to contest this too much. You can see he was kind of waiting until he knew it was safe, and now he's going to tap his altar once he's figured that out. We're going to run down to the bottom and see if we can join in this fight. One thing to note, Anubarak, one of his weaknesses is obviously, he's weak to physical damage, so that's, Greymane can shred through him quite often sometimes. Anubarak goes pretty low. Malf gets rooted. We chase in on the Malf. This is an overstay. Zeratul arrives, our good friend, and with Muradin we get absolutely destroyed, and there's nothing we can do there. Kharazim goes down as well. It's just a big overcommitment to that fight from us as a team. Greymane had lost most of his life. Then Muradin was still there alive, and Zeratul was on his way. We shouldn't have chased onto the Malf once he got rooted. We should have just been backing up at that point, regrouping, or even potentially giving up the... Ooh, Zeratul on the Abathur, who survived with about 1 HP. You can see that at the top. Lucky slug. Very lucky slug. Yeah, we should have been much more safe. We just didn't have the position to push that too much, and we do get punished appropriately because of that. And we see our friend Zeratul. Hey, buddy. Back, buddy. again, we're not going too deep before we attack him. We're just looking to poke him out. As you can see, he just blinks away. But every single good trade that we get on the Zeratul is just removing a lot of pressure. It removes the pressure that he can counter dive us. It removes the pressure that he can gank anywhere else in the game. And just stops him from kind of laning aggressively as well. So it's a pretty big win whenever we're able to get a trade on him like that. Takes a lot of the pressure off. One of the things you can do to outplay, don't think I managed to pull it off in this game. I'll actually talk about sort of interesting interactions with talent builds here as well. But that's, right, because of that Seeker in the Dark Singularity Spike that Zeratul has, you can actually play around that and you can block it if you're good with your decoy. You can also do this with things like Stitch's hooks. Muradin Swordbolt. You can do it with a lot of skill shots once you get actually comfortable with the hero. People probably don't have much practice with it because, again, of how it interacts with talents, Hollow Decoy. But you can totally use that. That's kind of the only way that you can do okay against Zeratul is if you block the Singularity Spike with your Hollow Decoy. It blocks that damage, it blocks the slow, and it blocks his teleport. That can turn the fight around. Hard to pull off, but it's something to bear in mind. One of the reasons you probably don't have much practice, Li Ming oversteps, and she should go down here. Indeed she does. Rest in pieces. You're gonna get a stack. We've got Snipe Master now, by the way. Okay, before I mention the Hollow Decoy talents, let's and how they interact. I mentioned Snipe Master here, so just in case you don't know, this is kind of the core of the build. You can see it's a quest down below. Every time we hit a hero, it permanently increases the damage of Snipe by 15%. Now we lose those stacks. You can see just how hard Snipe hits, by the way. We lose those stacks if we Nubrax snap that in, if we miss a target. So it has been buffed. It used to be you'd lose the stacks if you hit something that was not a hero, which was pretty punishing, honestly. Like, we hit a, I think a beetle, if we hit a structure, if we hit a minion, if we hit anything like that, you lose all of your Snipe Master stacks. It basically meant you couldn't queue on minions or bosses or objectives. It was very, very punishing. It's much more reasonable now. It's just we didn't snipe the right target. We sniped a Nubrak instead of Li Ming. That was silly. Much less punishing now. You can use it to clear minion waves. You can use it to clear merc camps and all that sort of stuff. And it's going to synergize fantastically with Explosive Shot, which is going to give us AoE damage on our snipe at level 13. And that's going to give us fantastic wave clear. Pretty early in the game, actually. Like, by the time we hit level 13, we're going to have extremely strong wave clear with Explosive around there. So the reason you probably don't have much practice with, the Hollow Decoy and using it to block skill shots and stuff is, well, number one, it used to interact with the old best build, which is one in the chamber at level 7. So that's whenever you use an ability, your next basic attack does 80% bonus damage. It's, follow through on steroids. Basically, you were using your Hollow Decoy in that sense just for a little bit of confusion and then to give you a proc of follow through. With this build, you are able to use your Hollow Decoy kind of however you want early in the game, but we're going to grab Lethal Decoy at 16, which means our Hollow Decoy does 40% of our damage. So again, our Hollow Decoy becomes, through talents, a damage cooldown. So you reach this kind of awkward spot where you want to, it would be cool to use your Hollow Decoy to block skill shots and to be as disruptive as possible, which in a way is probably what the original intent of the ability was. But instead, because of her old talent build with the one in the chamber and now her new talent build with Lethal Decoy, you tend to want to be using it more so as that damaging ability to get maximum DPS out and get those kills. That's definitely something to watch out for. We're going to pressure the Muradin. He does actually pop his McThingy avatar. Look at that. We juke that Nubrak skill shots like a boss. We walk around the roots like a boss. We try to sneak past the side. And we get rooted like a total noob. Awesome. Go me. A pretty big fight here. We got that lag spike as the Avatar clone does come out. Liz, please. Cocoon from a Nubrak. This is actually a pretty big deal for us to go up against. We're going to bust whoever it was inside out of that. Do some decent poke damage to the Muradin. Go throw down our clone. And we're going to start channeling on this. So you'll notice in this game, certainly at the earlier levels, I will be using my decoy, my clone here. Actually, I should call it a decoy, seeing as the clone is going to tie in with Avatar. I'll call it a decoy. I'm using my decoy to block potential skill shots that would interrupt my channel onto the altars, right? So I throw the decoy down in front of me. That might absorb you know, a Li Ming, or potentially even all the Li Ming magic missiles. You never know. Could absorb as well the Zeratul Singularity Spike, so we could use that to our advantage. Wimpy poking very far forwards. He gets absolutely dived upon. We're going to throw in our precision strike. Unfortunately, again, Li Ming with that force armor, pretty good counter to us. We're in some trouble here. We're getting focused down. There's that Seeker in the dark on me. Zeratul jumping in, and now we've got about 50 billion warriors shredding us apart. Nova Clone, though, in the back. She is on the hunt. Arthas does take out Zeratul. Nicely done. Nova Clone on the hunt, and she takes out Malf. Not the best trade for us. It's ultimately a 2 for 4, but at least we got the global soak of Abathur. We've got the global pushing of Abathur, and as you can see, we are equal on shots, which is great for an Abathur team. You're kind of expecting to lose out on shots, at least until level 10. And we are actually up in XP as well, which is fantastic. So we're actually in a really good spot. That last fight didn't go so well, but we're in a good spot. There we go. Level 13, we're going to get explosive rounds. And this is such another huge power spike. This is nuts. Well, this makes Snipe do half damage to enemies near the impact. And it's a fairly reasonable impact. Fairly reasonable. I mean, it's something comparable to a Ragnaros Q, I reckon. You'll see it here. It's something comparable to Ragnaros Q. You know, it's pretty big. And given that Snipe Master, we're doing 75% bonus damage now with our snipes. Having half of that splash is insanely good. I mean, if we get that on a team, look at that. Right, that's it right there in the minion wave. Pretty nice, right? If we get that on, you know, the entire team, like a full splash of Snipe Master explosive round, it's almost like hitting the entire team with a default snipe with no talents, an untalented snipe on nearly the entire team. Not quite as strong as that, but you know, roughly that will hopefully give you a bit of an insight into kind of what it does. Now, you can see the chunk of damage there onto the Muradin. It's pretty damn good. It's pretty damn nice. So yeah, we're gonna try to use that as much as possible. We're trying to juke around the Nubarak and stuff there. We actually moved too far forwards. Kharazim saves with the Pam, but now we are gonna go down. Yeah, there's no way we survive here. You can see the counter picks. This is the problem with Nova, really. Went a little bit too deep there because I don't think the clone was ready. The Abathur clone was out, but Greymane wasn't quite there. He had to defend against the siege camp. But there's so many stalling tools on the enemy team because of the heroes that they picked up. So in that case, we saw, you know, the Cocoon came out, just locking down Arthas. Suddenly the warrior is gone. And there's the VP coming down as well, grabbing the rest of the team. Twilight Dream silencing people. And yeah, they're able to just dive us very aggressively, lock multiple people out for periods of time. And that's very, very effective against the sort of comp we got going here. Kharazim on the chase. He should be able to get this. He does get it. Excellent stuff. Oh, Schwimpy almost picks off this Zeratul as well with a flask over the fort. And yeah, we didn't do too well in that fight. Certainly we got picked off very early, but our team walked away actually in a relatively decent spot. You see right here now we're able to burn down this fort using our snipes, so that's pretty nice. Don't have to worry too much about that. Doing some wave there as we go as well. And this is looking pretty dodgy here. Throw the precision strike down behind to stop them juking back. You see we're being chased by Zeratul. We panic and miss our snipe, and that's very bad news. Zeratul does ultimately go down. Greymane dies as well. I think kind of the real thing that happened in that fight. Nice kill in return. Team's still on the chase. Malf is healing up inside of his ice block. Good silence. Might keep him alive here. Kharazim's got it. No, but the VP saves him. Well, at least that's VP down. That was an interesting fight though. You can see both myself and Greymane died pretty much at the same time, and Kharazim didn't use Divine Palm. So I think that's kind of what went wrong. He noticed me dying, tried to jump over to me, then was like, oh shit, but Greymane's dying. Greymane's more important as a damage dealer here. So he kind of got caught between the two of us, and both of us died because of that. So that's just, you know, honestly, well played by the enemy team. And one of the most difficult things about being a support, in my opinion, is when you've got multiple people dying at two sides. Splitting your attention between the two is actually really, really hard. So yeah, that kind of stuff. But you can see, like, we get jumped upon by Zeratul, and he's just able to destroy us. And then I kind of panicked and tried to fire off the snipe just to try to do some damage to win the fight. And that makes us lose our entire quest of Snipe Master. So we're actually pretty gimped in terms of our damage output now. I know that this is bad. Right, we're level 16 and we're on 0 stacks of snipe. I was considering using my precision strike to interrupt the Malf here.
I'm acting on instinct.
I was hoping that the mine would proc on time. It did not. It did slow him down. Stormbolt's not gonna hit. That's good. Only just firing the precision strike off there, and it's too slow, and that is bad news for us. Nubrak is low. Stormbolt misses once again. We're gonna get another snipe off on Timeless. That's good. And we're up to 1 stack at the moment. I think we hit something else last time. Right there, right, we kill him with the snipe. Good stuff, that's him down. Arthas picked off Malf as well. Good route. We fire off the snipe. Unfortunately, it does hit the Anubrak Beetle, so it's not going to get another stack of Snipe Master, and Anubrak had his spell armor. Once again, we hit the Beetle. Beetle's denying us many stacks here. Yeah, ever the problem fighting against Anubrak. He's very good at using his skill shots against heroes. Getting greedy for his snipe there on the Zeratul, not something we can afford to do when we lose our stacks and our progress. Really shows you, like, the Zeratul is very good against Nova, but yeah, you have to be very patient with Snipe Master. Once you miss a snipe, you're in a bad spot. So I think that's one of the most difficult things as well about this new Nova in terms of Pure League. They're coming up to try get a stack for free and just like run away immediately. You don't want to do anything against this Zeratul now that he's hit this late game power spike. But we missed the snipe, we don't get the stack, which is unfortunate. Here we go, Zeratul lands his W. Now we're pretty screwed. We're going to use Precision Strike to try zone him off, but the rest of the enemy team is diving on top of us. Nice palm from Kharazim, does keep us alive. We're going to try take out this Malf on the way. He hits us with the silence though, and we get focused down once again. The Abathur clone was not available during that team fight, so that was a bit of a problem for us. Then, Malf gets taken out. Nubrak left out of position after they dived all over me. The Greymane clone goes in as well and finishes off Zeratul. And that actually works out being a really good fight for us. And even though I died, that was a really good death this time. We got owned, but they had to invest so much into killing me. It was a beautiful palm from Kharazim as well. They had to invest so much into getting the kill on me that they put themselves completely out of position. They used so many of their big cooldowns to do it. And in the end then, yeah, they did get the kill on me as Nova. However, they gave up 4 kills on their heroes and then lose out on the objective completely. So that works out really well actually. That works out really well. It's one of the funny things about Nova. I thought it was one of the funny things about this game. Like, I'm the one who's dying all the time. Like, they're constantly going on me. However, it's leaving Greymane quite open to doing a lot of damage here. I mean, Zeratul's just on me all the time. And if Zeratul's on me all the time, it means that Zeratul's not on anyone else on the team. So yeah, it opens up. I thought this was a really interesting game in terms of that sort of stuff. You can see I was saying in the chat, like we're the tank Nova, because effectively we are. We're tanking for our team here because they just keep trying to kill me. Again, in that last fight, if we dodged that initial singularity spike, we would have been better off. But even so, being hit by that, it did work out all right in the end. Just about. We got level 20 now, which is great. We're going to come do some wave clear again. We've only got 1 stack of Snipe Master currently, so we want to be building that up. At level 20, I had a really interesting choice. I was definitely considering Ghost Protocol in this game, which puts you in an unrevealable stealth for 2 seconds. I think you come out of it in stealth as well. Pretty sure. But I was definitely considering going for that in this particular game, because of like just how much I'm being focused down. That would just help keep us alive a little bit more against the Zeratul, right? And we don't have all that much support from Kharazim. He's gone a sort of a damage dash build, so he's pretty much diving quite a lot. He also has got the air clones to reveal stealth, but he doesn't have any either the clones, or not the clones, what are they called? His little spirits. He doesn't have any of the ones that can actually help keep us alive when Zeratul comes in. You see there, using that clone, I need calling everything clones. Using my mirror image there, my decoy, to throw it in front of Li Ming, so it's going to shoot her in the face and do some damage. And then also it's going to block her skill shots if she throws them out. This should be nice. We're able to zone the enemy team off. Really good spawn on the altar for us behind the tower that we actually control. And we get a bunch of shots on. They've got 1 core HP left, which is nice. We got 4 stacks of our snipe now, which is pretty good. Arthur's in a rough spot. He gets just instantly killed. Rewinds galore coming out. It's like, oh shit! is Nova's worst nightmare, right? Nova's worst nightmare is that Anubarak, Zeratul, and Muradin are all like, yeah, you're gonna die. We're just rewind, dive you like crazy, blah, blah, blah. And we get destroyed. Pretty much from Arthas getting picked off, it was a pretty dodgy fight. Now, it's actually a 2-for-1, which is not too shabby for us, but just defending under this tower, it's looking a little bit scary here. Palm comes out, but it's a bit early, and Twimpy gets taken out straight up after that. Karazim gonna try to die with dignity. He's onto the Malf, and he does just about take Malf out with the last few hits of his Q. Then he goes down in return. The enemy team's gonna be able to take that tower back. Now, it's not so bad. This is actually something I should point out that I haven't pointed out yet in this game, but it's actually a huge deal, right? I've been talking about how they got counter picks on me, and they got stuff like, well, Anubarak, Muradin, Zeratul dives, they've got the Li Ming with the Force Armor, it's difficult for me to kill. You know, they've got a lot of dive potential, they've got a lot of, you know, CC and sort of timeout abilities with Cocoon and stuff. It's a really difficult game for Nova. Like, they counter-picked the Nova first pick pretty well in that sense in terms of the team fights, but what they didn't counter-pick it well in terms of, and you can kind of see it happening right there, they just killed 4 of our heroes. What did they get on the map? They got almost nothing. So if you look at their team, they have almost no wave clear. Got Muradin, very weak. Anubarak, very weak as well. Malf, he's got the scouting drones at level 1, so his wave clear is not that fantastic either. Li Ming is pretty weak too. Zeratul's okay, but I mean, they just don't have all that much wave clear. So we're able to exploit that quite a bit. We couldn't go in there because Zeratul was there. We're going to use our strike just to zone out the Li Ming a little bit. I wasn't sure if that was the right decision or not, but people are respawning coming from base. I figured it might be worthwhile just to slow them down as much as possible. Now, Anubarak's obviously going to interrupt that, so we want to kind of juke around here, try to get out as much damage as we can. We pop the rewind, and we're trying to focus down this Muradin a little bit. Malf has to clear that channel. Karazim is busting Arthas out of that. We're doing what sort of damage we can and trying to kite around here. We're going to throw out the clone. Hello, enemy team stacked up. That's a nice spot for an explosive round, and once again we're being jumped on by their team, so we're going to give them the B steps as we die. Snipe Zeratul in the face might be the kill we need on him. Nope, he's going to save himself the VP. But Muradin running to try stop that Abathur, but it's not going to be in time. And Abathur does secure the channel, and we secure the game. So I think once again in that team fight you kind of see like over focus from their damage in terms of killing me. And you know, Greymane is just going ham in the back, and Abathur sneaking in to turn in point. Twimpy playing a great game. Definitely helped the first pick Nova to have, you know, one of the best players in EU playing Greymane to back this up, with an Abathur to back him up. So definitely happy about that. And yeah, you can see we dealt 58.9% more siege damage than similar players. I actually want to pause it right here on the stats screen really quick. So I wanted to show you and draw your attention to this, and part again of why this worked. If you look at our stats, right, we died 7 times. We died so many times in the Nova, they just kept killing me. And it's a huge focus, and they had a really good team comp to punish it. And there's, in some ways, you know, there was some bad positioning, but more so than that, it was just simply they had, because we first picked Nova, the second we first picked Nova, we put ourselves in that position where they could pick heroes that could just wipe us out. You can imagine though, just how effective you could be on the Nova if you picked her later in the draft, when it's not expected, and they don't have all these counter picks. And if they have more of these picks that would be very vulnerable to you, some of the like squishier picks that you could kind of deal with, or less dive, less spell arm, all that sort of stuff, you know, like they picked a bunch of heroes that aren't vulnerable to Nova, and we kind of paid the price for that, and like a Punisher paid the price. You could imagine how effective it would be later in the draft. But I also want to point out, even though we did die 7 times, like, look at our hero damage. Greymane did 76,000, Abathur did 75,000, we did 71,000 though. Our hero damage isn't all that bad, and that's, I feel like, a big part of how this worked out. It's like, yeah, they were focusing us down and they were killing us, but number one, a lot of the times when they were just focusing on diving me and killing me, it meant that Zeratul was not focusing anyone else, and that Zeratul, his damage and his VPs weren't involved in the team fights. There was a couple of team fights that went really well where he got a big VP, but then a few of them went badly where he's chasing me. He didn't use the VP during the team fight because he's focusing on killing the Nova. And that sort of stuff kind of combined with other heroes as well kind of led to us winning a lot of those team fights because they overinvested in killing the Nova picks. And then number two, on top of that, even though they were killing us, we were still outputting tons of damage. We were getting a lot of our spell. There's a few bad fights where we died almost straight away, but even in some of the fights where we died pretty early on, we were still getting off a good rotation of abilities, still doing plenty of damage. And yeah, I mean, like I said, just consider how much damage Nova could do if you're not the main focus for the enemy team in these team fights. We still did almost top hero damage in, well, the entire game. We came very close, and we were like dead all the time. Imagine just how much damage you could do if you were playing her in a draft that suits her a little bit better. Kind of a scary thought. And that is the Snipe Master and Explosive Rounds build with your Hollow Decoy. The Hollow Decoy, with the level 16 lethal decoy talents, actually does the explosive shot splash as well. I think it scales with Snipe Master too. I'm not 100% sure about Snipe Master, but 100% the Hollow Decoy, the lethal decoy, does the splash damage of explosive shot. So you can, once you've got that stacked up, the Snipe Master as well, you can just instantly clear waves with the Q and an E. Bam, whole wave is dead. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage in team fights as well. And you can be very, very effective with that. So yeah, I think Nova, very underrated. And I thought it was an interesting game here where, yeah, we did die a lot. We had a good team around us. And I thought it was an interesting look into, okay, yeah, we died loads, but in a kind of a tanky kind of way where we were absorbing so many resources in order for them to kill us that they kind of lacked counters and to win the entire team fight quite often. They're over-focused on us, and then although they did have the picks to punish us in the team fight on the Nova, they actually didn't have the wave clear to punish us globally and to punish the Abathur and any of that stuff. So we actually kept control of the map nearly at all times. Even when we had bad team fights, we still didn't have the wave clear to actually destroy towers to take that advantage. Probably really important. Guys, thank you for watching. Give a thumbs up if you like this, and if you learned something, there should be talent build on the left hand side, and there should be buttons to subscribe and whatnot on the right hand side. I'll see you all next time for more Heroes of the Storm. Bye bye.
MVP.
Alright, straight into a game. Hanamura. Man, I want to do my Nova, but like, I'm really nervous that they're just gonna tilt. Like, this guy was tilted before. Lunara is such a low-key good hero. Yeah, Lunara is great, and a lot of people don't know it. She's so underestimated and undervalued. I've also noticed people aren't playing Brightwing on Hanamura. Hey, as soon as I said it. Oh fuck, I honestly wouldn't bother to ban that. I haven't seen anyone playing it. I would love to play Nova, but I don't know if we'll get her. We'll see. We'll hover it and we'll see. We'll see. Did I see the clip of Adam Hoek singing Boil and Mash 'em, Stick 'em and Stew? I did, and it was good. Yeah, Nova would work great here. It's just a matter of whether we can get it or not. Chromie, she might work, you know, just for